I know when the sun comes up, you'll have left me alone, waking up. Look out the window and see nothing but dust from your truck. Then another few years will pass on by till you come around here with your crying eyes, saying you're sorry and you've realized should be us living in love. And my walls fall, lay it on the line, praying to God you stay this time, knowing I'll never be able to satisfy you. And my hope rose from the bottom of my heart, praying to God we never again will part, knowing it's a dream that just won't come true. But that's a promise my broken heart won't break, when it promised I'd always love you. So I'll hold you tight the whole night through, try to love on you like you've never been, thinking to myself back when you swooned for me, say I was your dream. Still one more night from the blues, when your memories get the better of me, and you ain't here but you left your perfume, and all the booze won't even soothe. And my walls fall, lay it on the line, praying to God you stay this time, knowing I'll never be able to satisfy you. And my hope rose from the bottom of my heart, praying to God we never again will part, knowing it's a dream that just won't come true. But that's a promise my broken heart won't break, when it promised I'd always love you. And my walls fall, lay it on the line, praying to God you stay this time, knowing I'll never be able to satisfy you. And my hope grows from the bottom of my heart, praying to God we never again will part, knowing it's a dream that just won't come true. But that's a promise my broken heart won't break, when it promised I'd always love you.
Hi, Grand Prairie. It's Alyssa and Travis here. I am so excited for tonight. Welcome to Virtual Variety Night with GPLT. As you know, each week on Thursday nights, we come to you live on Facebook or YouTube to bring you something artsy. For the last 2 months, we have ended off our month with a singer-songwriter evening on Thursdays. And this time we wanted to have just a little bit more time for you guys to be able to send us in those songs. And I really want to participate in the next singer-songwriter night, but I don't know how to write songs. So if you are in the same boat as me, well, enter Travis Fowler. So he is going to teach me tonight how to write a song. I don't have really any songwriting experience to think of or to speak of. I have written a couple of parody songs, and then a couple songs where songwriter friends or family of mine have let me kind of tag along and give some ideas for songs that we were co-writing, and they did most of the work. So this time I'm going to try my hand at just writing a song. So here I have Travis Fowler, who agreed to help me out today because I need it. Travis, want to introduce yourself to everybody?
All right, thanks. I will share with you what I know. As far as writing a song, the marketing of it, so you can hear that song on the radio, that's a whole other workshop. In fact, people spend lots of money and their entire lifetimes on that aspect of the song. But yeah, as far as creating a song, I can help you with some of the tips because I've written a few of them. So for people who don't know who I am, I love GPLT. I try to help out there as much as I can. I've been fortunate enough to be involved in some of the productions. both backstage, behind the curtains, and on stage. So it's been a great home. Wonderful. And I met a lot of great people like yourself. We just met a month ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's good. You always meet a lot of great artists and such, and great people in GPLT. As far as music goes, I started my music education here at GPRC.
Wow.
Yeah, I studied the drums, and then I went to Grant MacEwan in Edmonton, which is now MacEwan University. But I went there, it was Grant MacEwan Community College. I studied music. Again, I studied the drums. I graduated and started singing and playing guitar. So I started singing and playing guitar really later on in life. So normally people start when they're small. No. But however, since then, I've met a lot of good people. I've had a lot of good, great fortune and opportunities. And I have a band, which we'll talk about later, maybe if we get time. And I've actually been able to spend my life with music and performing. It's been really lucky. So,
Awesome.
all right. So first, I think we should let them know that there's composing music, which is a whole other beast, and there's songwriting. If you want to be a composer, that's a lot of learning. And again, that's a lifetime study. Songwriting is a little different because I feel like everybody has music in them. And so you don't have to be a virtuoso on an instrument to be a songwriter. You just have to find ways to get that song out of you. So hopefully tonight we can give you some ideas to spark that and to brainstorm that. We're going to have, let's do some kind of like writing assignments, sort of just little things to get this song started. And we invite you guys to participate as well if you would like to.
Yeah, so he's going to give me an assignment. I'm going to run off and do that while he'll give you some knowledge about various things and talk to you about certain topics to make songwriting go easier. If you would like, while I'm going to be doing this in real time, guys. So while I'm doing, that's how much time I have to do this. You're welcome to do it too. If you end up writing anything, whether it turns into something wonderful that can turn into a whole song and you can submit it to the singer-songwriter night the next time, or if it turns out to be like a couple of lines that is what you could come up with tonight, we would love for you to send a recording of it over to gplt at box.office@gplt.com. We just love to see that.
Also, maybe if you come up with part of a song, you can't finish it, maybe there's another songwriter or aspiring songwriter out there and you can work together. That'd be great too.
Yeah, and also if you don't play an instrument or have trouble with tunes, but you're really found some great lyrics after today's workshop or just separate from today's workshop and want somebody to be able to put them to music for you, just send them our way. We will try and hook you up.
That's great. Yeah, because we are a great family here at GPLT. So we're gonna try to do a few things tonight for Alyssa. Number one is we're gonna get her to try to write a chorus that comes up out of a hook. And I'll talk about what a hook is later. We're gonna try to get a verse written. Now these are the lyrics. And then the third thing is we're gonna see if we can send her off with a chord progression. And once we have that, then what are you gonna do?
Then I am going to work on it. I'm going to finish the song and I will enter it into the singer-songwriter night that we will have later on. So stay tuned for the date on that. I'm not 100% sure on when the date will be, but you will hear my song at that night.
And hopefully some of yours as well.
Yes, please.
So we invite you to join us. Okay, so we're going to do 7-minute intervals at a time where she will go to another area, work on her stuff, and it'll just be us, and we'll have a quick little chit chat about stuff. All right?
Perfect.
You got a timer?
I do. I put it over in my little area, and you have to give me my first assignment.
Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm really stoked.
Are you nervous? Do you have any questions?
I am nervous, but not in the way that has questions, just in the way that I worry that nothing will come. But, you know,
Okay.
I've failed before. It'll be fine.
A lot of songwriters face that. One thing that helps is if you do something called a mind dump or free writing or like diary, sort of. It's all kind of the same thing. A lot of different institutions have different names for it and different ways they do it. Tonight, I'm going to get you to set your timer for 7 minutes. And again, guys at home, if you want to try this, you can as well. 7 minutes. and you're just going to write whatever comes to you off the top of your head. You could write anything. Wow, it's sure hot today. Oh, I was so mad when I ran that yellow light, and then that guy yelled at me. Oh, anything. I'm so hungry. I can't wait to have pizza when I get home. Oh, I wonder what the hockey game is. Whatever comes on the top of your mind. The problem you're going to have is your pen won't be able to keep up with your brain, because our brains think so much faster. So try to just get everything out in 7 minutes. When that timer goes off, put your pen down and you're done.
And I believe that we are working with a theme. Is that right? Because they had issued a challenge at the last singer-songwriter night that the next theme is going to be emergence. So I'm going to be basing some of my thinking on that theme.
Okay.
Okay. Ready?
Good luck. No editing. You don't edit yourself on this, guys. Don't edit yourself. Just free write. You can throw it away later, or you can keep it. I find it's an amazing diary when you look back on it years later.
Okay. I'm going.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, I just had an idea off the top of my head. I'm going to call my friend, Arjun Roy. Now, a lot of you might know Arjun. He was in the Poetry Slam, helping out there. Arjun is my current producer of my country band and a really good guy. So I'm just going to give him a call, see what he's up to. Maybe we can get him down here. Arjun. Hope he doesn't post my call. Hey, Arjun? Good, buddy. How are you?
I'm mixing your song too, I promise. I'm in the bath and I'm mixing, as I do. How you doing, buddy? What's up?
Cool. Hey, could you throw on some clothes, dry off, and come down to the big theater at the JP2 school in the K?
What's happening at the theater?
Well, just come on down and I'll show you when you get here.
Oh,
All right.
So I haven't even shampooed my hair. Is it okay if I'm a little disheveled? I mean, I'll just jump right out right now.
Dude, I would love to have your hair. I don't have any hair. So just come down as is, pal. Okay.
Okay, man. All right. I'll
Don't
come
run
see
the
what's
red
up.
light. There's a red light camera. I just got a ticket for it. But there's red light cameras. So drive safely, my friend.
Will do. See you soon, buddy.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. So hopefully Arjun can get here safely, and I'll get him to talk a little bit about it as well. Okay. First off, you can notice I got a lot of books here. I'm a little bit old school in that I like books. I find that they help with writing songs, which is probably one of the things I do the most is write songs. I also write a lot of screenplays. I went to school for music and I went to school for movies. So that's kind of my two worlds, which I love. Like I said, I am old school. So I saved my anthology from English 101 in college. I love to read through the poetry in this, which I find helps your lyrics a lot if you read a lot of poetry. So I definitely save this, and I try to read that stuff. I also have the complete works of Shakespeare. For me, this one I wanted to buy in England when I went there because of the pound sign. Now, I know you can't see it, but that's just something weird I thought would be cool. I bought this where Stratford, it was really good. It was a good little trip we did after theater school. But it has a complete works of Shakespeare. You can buy them anywhere. But I like reading the sonnets. So I try to read a sonnet a day. Now, in modern days, you can go on the internet, and there's a great site, williamshakespearesonnets.com, where they actually explain the sonnets as well. So that helps with singer-songwriters. As well, back in the day, we used to have a rhyming dictionary. We would have a thesaurus. And then we would have literary terms. So those are 3 books that we used to have in our songwriters packsack. And we try to learn literary terms like consonants. We learn about that. Alliteration, that's probably my favorite. And there's all kinds of things that you learn about. Now, this is for people who want to really, really do songwriting, make it part of their life. And if that's you, I recommend this book, Writing Better Lyrics. In fact, the guy who wrote this, Pat Pattinson, is a friend of Arjun, the guy we're going to bring on here. So this is a great book. And they do something called a mind dump in this book as well. So that's like the English base that I try to maintain for writing songs, and it helps me all the time. The other thing I like to do is I like to try to work on myself as an artist, not just a songwriter, but as an artist. So this is a very famous book a lot of you know, The Artist's Way. They do 3 pages called the morning pages every day, where they just write 3 pages. She also has a second book called The Vein of Gold, which is really good. So these 2 books are great. If you guys want more information on all these books, we can leave them up for you. Okay. A Life in the Arts, another great book. And then here's one that changed my life, guys. This is called Talent is Overrated. Now, this author believes there's no such thing as talent. And he uses Tiger Woods, Amadeus Mozart as an example. And he said that they spent their lives working at their arts. Tiger Woods it was even before kindergarten when he was golfing. And in class, he would draw golf courses and he would be making lists of how far he could drive a ball with which iron. So he spent his entire life for golf. Same thing with Mozart. He was giving concerts when he was like 5, 6, 7 years old. So talent isn't a thing that's just given to a person. Sure, people have proclivity towards something. I believe mine is music, but it's not just talent. You got to work hard for it. I remember I was playing guitar around a table, and this woman said, "I would give anything to have your talent." And I said, "No, you wouldn't, because you would give your life." Every day I touch my guitar. Every day I either write down a hook or I record a hook on my voice memo. It's a life thing for me. I love it so much. So yeah, we've worked hard. So that's just old school stuff. If you want to get really serious about songwriting and music, you can start going into theory. You don't need theory to be a songwriter, but it will help if you want. So I got a bunch of theory books from music college, the arranger, so I understand how instruments go together, the different timbres of different instruments, all that kind of stuff. Band in a Box. You can't get manuals like this anymore, but Band in a Box is a great program that all I do is I punch in some chords and then just freestyle sing over top of it until something comes out. And then if you want to write music, Finale, and then there's also Sibelius. Those are great software programs that you can use, and they will actually give you a stave paper on the computer and you just put your notes in and stuff. It's great. So check out those programs if you want to be a songwriter, composer, beyond just doing it for fun and a hobby. Okay, so books. Nowadays you don't need the books because you have a smartphone. So the smartphone is great because all this information I have in front of you, you can find on the smartphone. The other good thing about the smartphone is you can get certain apps that will help you develop your music abilities and your songwriting. So some of the apps, and then if you don't have friends sending you memes and silly pictures trying to make you laugh, you can go and like basic ones like Guitar Tuner. You can get some tuners. This one's Guitar Tuna, which is great. You can also get ear training apps that will help you tune up your ears, become a better musician. And my favorite one, voice memo. So I have like over 500 voice memos. Some of them are like 18-second long, just little hooks. And sometimes I'll grab my guitar, I'll sing a song, I'll put my phone down, record it. And it could be a full 2-minute song or it could be just a hook. Then later on I come back to it. So this is probably one of your most valuable tools for being a songwriter, the voice memo. I like Notepad because I'll write down my lyrics on Notepad. And then if I don't get a full song done, I can come back to it and work on it again. So that seems to happen to me a lot. 7 minutes?
7 minutes.
Awesome. How'd it go?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How do you feel now?
I'm kind of excited to see what this song will turn into because there was a couple of really reoccurring images and some words, and then some of those kind of branched off into some different spots, and that
Like
just,
rabbit trails?
yeah, just like, oh, what about, yeah, it just kind of.
So guys,
Took
don't
on
be
a life of
scared
its
of
own.
rabbit trails because sometimes they will lead you to gold.
Yeah.
So rabbit trails are kind of like gifts. Like if you're improving a scene, yeah, absolutely go with it. Like improv actors know, say yes. So that helps here. So the thing about writing songs, thing about acting, it's all performing, it's all art, and it's all telling a story. So that's why a lot of singers or artists can become actors and writers and vice versa, because it's all telling a story and it's all hopefully entertaining people, making people think. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you feel like you're warmed up?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
That's kind of why we want to do that. And if you are a performer or an actor, maybe you're feeling like really nervous before a big performance. I know back at the Cardinal Theater and the back of this theater and GPLT, a lot of people sometimes get nervous. What you can do is find yourself a quiet little place and just write, free write, and that'll help. You can write down how you feel and then compare that feeling with closing night, and you'll see such a big difference that it will help you for your next show.
Yeah.
That's a great thing to do. I was so lucky when somebody shared that with me. Okay, second thing we're gonna do now. There's no one correct way to write a song. There's many different ways as there are people writing songs. But a great thing that we should attempt to do is start from our hook. Now, you know what the hook is?
Not really.
Okay, the best way to tell what a hook is when you listen to a song, hopefully there's a part of it that you sing back after. Like even before you've learned the song. You just hear it once or twice, and there's part of it that will come back.
Like stick in your head kind of.
Yes,
Okay.
that's the hook. Some people call that the earworm.
Okay.
So it gets stuck in your head. That's the hook. Now, a really good song will have 2 or 3 hooks. Maybe one in the verse, a couple in the chorus. Okay.
Okay.
A lot of pop songs have lots of hooks.
Okay.
A lot of different ways you can sing along with a pop song.
Mhm.
So the hook is kind of the most ideal way to start, but not always. The most ideal. If you have, like, say, for me, I'm an intro guy. The starting of songs come to me all the time. I will get the very first few lines of a song before I get a hook on probably 4 or 5 songwriting attempts. But it's okay because that voicemail app will help me. So today, guys, I want you to try to write a chorus with your hook. Now, because we're working with lyrics, let's talk about writing lyrics. Now, you like poetry, right?
I do.
Writing lyrics is similar to writing poetry. Okay, can you tell me some rhyming patterns? Because rhymes are so pleasing to the ear, a lot of songs that rhyme. Now, by the way, before we go further, I should let you guys know that there's always exceptions to the rule. You can break the rules, but for me, I would say you need to know the rules before you break the rules. Make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So we're going to start with rhyming patterns because they're so pleasing to the ear and they will help. So, because you're a poetry reader, what rhyming patterns can you think of?
I usually just go by like A B or
A, B, yep.
A B B.
Okay.
A B C B.
Yeah, A, B, C, B. That's great.
Yeah, that's probably the one I'd use most often.
Those are pretty much the ones we hear the most. We also hear A, B, A. We hear that a lot in pop songs, but there's generally about 4 or 5 rhyming patterns. And so for some of you that might need a little further explanation, it'd be like, okay, let's say he took his dog for a walk. Walk is A, that's our rhyme. He took his dog for a walk. It took him a while, but he went around the block. So block and walk, that's AA, okay? Then your third line might be something different. So obviously we're going AABB or AABA. He took his dog for a walk. It took a while. He went around the block. He saw a balloon up in the sky, but it also made him cry. So just off the top of our head, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's AABB.
Yep.
All right, guys? Just that's a simple rhyme pattern. So you are definitely going to come up with something more than walking the dog around the block and crying at the balloon in the sky. Okay? So now what we're going to do, we're going to take 7 minutes. Alyssa's going to go out there and she's going to write our course with a rhyming pattern. A, B, A, B, A, A, B, B, A, B, C, B, or A, A, B, A, whichever one she wants to come up with. Now, we're going to keep it real simple because we want to do this really quickly. We want to keep it real simple, 4-line chorus. A lot of times the chorus will be a lot more. Sometimes the chorus will start with the hook and it will end with the hook answer, okay? For example, I'm a country boy, so I'd be like, my tractor broke down before it started to rain. And then I'll sing the rest of my chorus, blah, 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 blah. I'll come back. I'm so angry because the tractor broke down before it started to rain. So my hook is repeated. Okay.
Okay.
That's a little bit more advanced than what we're at tonight. Tonight, we're just going 4 lines. You're going to pick whatever comes to you, and hopefully your hook. When you come back to the chorus and you sing it for me a cappella, I should be able to sing the hook back.
Okay.
Okay. I should be able to figure out her hook. And,
so should I have a tune as well as the lyrics?
Well, right now I was just about to say, right now we're just working on lyrics.
Perfect. Okay.
If a tune comes, put it in there because we can use it. For me, a lot of times my tune will come with my lyrics. So,
okay.
Not always, but a lot of times. Mr. David Banks, is Arjun here? If Arjun's here, just let him in. Hopefully he's here. Hopefully he made it safe. Yeah? Okay, just send him to set then. This is great, guys. You're going to love Arjun. Okay. You got your timer?
Yep. See you in 7 minutes.
You got this. You got this. All right. Okay. So we talked about the books and the smartphone and the internet. That is a great resource. Technology can also help songwriters because we can record our songs on a video and put it out to the world. Or like I said, we can use it to write our stuff and to record it. We could actually produce a song on this. And if you want somebody to produce an expert on it, all you got to do is talk to Arjun Roy. Arjun! Have a seat, my buddy. I didn't know that I was going to be on TV. I mean, well, you always look good to me, friend, so.
You're too kind. Let me just make sure that they're getting my good side.
There you go. Every side's a good side of Arjun. So, I'd give you the hug and the high five and everything, but we'll just, it's not July 1st yet, so we're still going to respect some of the rules here. Okay.
The Wi-Fi, as I call it.
Wi-Fi. Okay, so like I said earlier, guys, some of you may have seen Arjun at the Poetry Slam a few weeks ago. Good job, by the way. Good job.
Thank
you. He is one of the best people I know. He's very intelligent. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Arjun was like Doogie Howser. He was 16 years old in medical school. At 16 years old.
I graduated early. Went into pre-med at the U of A. This is true.
Oh, by the way, maybe we should tell everybody who your parents are because a lot of them probably know them.
Sure. My folks are both dentists in town, Dr. Roy and Dr. Callie. Not the Dr. Callie who's an obstetrician, but Dr. Callie who's a dentist.
She was my son's, yeah.
Oh, right on.
Dr. Callie. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. There you go.
Anyway, so he was 16 years old. He was in med school, just like Doogie Howser. And then he decided, you know what? I think I want to do a life of music. So he went to his family, said, I'm going to do music now. So I said, okay. And then you went to GPRC for music a little bit?
Yes, I'm like a John Mayer alum of GPRC. I did a little bit, didn't finish it up, but GPRC for a bit, and then I actually taught guitar bass lessons in town in order to finance doing music. You know what I mean? Like when you decide you're going to do music. So I played in bands. I toured.
What genre?
Sure. So rock/hard rock. That was my first band. And then my second band was straight up heavy metal.
Now, this guy shreds a guitar, for those of you that don't know. Shreds. Like, he's awesome. I keep trying to get him in my country band, but it's a little bit different than what he normally plays.
Well, look, I'm going to put him on the spot. If you let me sweep arpeggio over your country band stuff,
hey, we did put some tapping in that last song we wrote, so.
That's right. Okay.
Eddie.
Okay.
So currently he's in a project. Tell us about that.
Which project?
You in a project? Are you in a band?
Yeah, of course. I have the pleasure of the local folk pop band McKindred occasionally asks me to guest play guitar, and so I'm playing actually on Canada Day. Are you emceeing that? Oh my gosh, sorry.
I am emceeing it. I'm going to surprise one of the artists because she has no idea, and I keep teasing her. Oh, I should go watch you. She goes, yeah, please come watch me. So it's good. Yes, I am. I'm hosting Canada Day. We're actually going to talk about that later at the end of the program with Alyssa.
Perfect. So I play with them now and again.
Who's in the band?
Who's in the band? Kelsey McInnes.
Kelsey. Love Kelsey.
Brooke Lowen.
Love Brooke. We're going to talk about Brooke in a second with my band.
Kelsey and Brooke singing together, harmony is the best.
They
right?
sound like siblings. Siblings always give the best harmonies. These girls sound amazing together.
Pitch, emotion, the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And then Ryan Zahara.
Ryan, our buddy. Shout out to Ryan.
And you might know this next guy too, David Oostra.
David Oostra, my drummer. I'll tell you,
Plays lots of drums.
David Oostra played drums with me since he was 17 years old.
No way.
Yep. We took him to Teepee Creek Stampede, and there was an open bar for the band up in the VIP section. David was 17, and his dad was with him. And he looked at the bar, and the guy's like, yeah, open bar, guys, whatever you want. And he just looked, and his dad's like, he's like, my son's a rock star. What am I going to do? No, Dave's been playing with us since he was 17. So, yeah.
Very, very talented musician. Just amazing, amazing drummer.
Yeah, nice guy, too. So, yeah, that's who you're playing with. Now, he went to Berkeley. Arjun went to Berkeley. For those of you in the know, Berkeley's like an amazing music school. Like it's up there with Juilliard, and yeah, it's really good.
Absolutely.
It's no Grant McKeown, but it's no, I'm just kidding.
it gets by.
Actually, they are kind of connected, those two schools.
That's right.
Yeah. So then he did that, and then when he graduated, you went to Spain.
I did. So my family and I moved to Boston years ago. I did Berkeley, worked in Boston for a bit, and then I went to Berkeley's new, at that point in time, campus in Valencia, Spain. I finished my master's there, and I worked there as the graduate fellow for the department before moving back to Grand Prairie, as one does.
Nice. So you worked in Spain for Berkeley. I met Arjun through Ryan, the bass player of his band, who played with us for a while. So I met Arjun through him, and then when I went with the Grand Prairie Choir to Carnegie Hall, shout out to Tina, whoop, we went to the studio, the power station, which is very famous. Guys, you should Google it on another screen. It's very famous. So many people there. All the pictures on the wall. It was just amazing for a musician. And lo and behold, this is the guy that was part of the team who saved the power station from going into becoming condos.
As happens with all large format recording studios, no matter how old, no matter how amazing they are, at some point, the music industry changed. The money changed. And so a lot of these facilities got sold off. And I mean, at that point, they're just real estate. Whoever buys them will sell all the gear and usually just turn them into condos, hotels, that kind of thing.
Little Mountain Studios in Vancouver. That's where Metallica's Black Album was. Right. Well, I mean, a lot of great albums were there, but Black Album was probably the biggest.
Indeed.
That's gone to condos. So anyway, Berkeley got this guy to be part of the team to make it part of campus?
Yeah, you bet. So the Berkeley and the city of New York and one of the trustees put together a nonprofit organization to save the studio from being sold off, first of all. And then they brought in a few people, and I'm really fortunate that they asked me to be part of the team to sort of start setting up the educational curriculum. Actually, it's amazing to think about that now, because when did we meet in New York City? That was like 3 years ago, right? Three and a half years ago?
I think it was 2018?
2018. And so this September, that work, that I kind of got in on the ground floor on, is all coming to fruition. This September, Berkeley, New York City is welcoming its first class of 80 master students on campus. 80 students this September. It's amazing.
And the studio is incredible, guys.
Absolutely.
It's phenomenal. So great work. What else? I was going to talk about something else.
Your single.
Oh, yeah.
I'm mixing your single. I'm mixing his
yeah,
single.
You're mixing my single?
I'm mixing a single. It's happening.
Chinese Democracy going on here. That album, Guns N' Roses album, it took them 10, 15, 20 years to do.
That's what we get for hiring Buckethead. But, it's a whole process.
Yeah, a good guitar player. Okay, so they would fly him back and forth to New York to Grand Prairie because he has his daughter here, of course, and roots are in Grand Prairie. And we all in Grand Prairie know that we love Grand Prairie. So anyway, you're pretty amazing when Berkeley will fly you back and forth. And then when COVID hit, it was all Zoom and computers stuff. But you did it, man. Proud of you. Thanks for coming out.
Thank
now,
you. It's a pleasure.
what I want to talk to you about
Sure.
is, what are your favorite genres for songwriters for the storytelling aspect?
That's a really good question. I feel like the genres that come to mind for me, everyone has a different experience, right? Country music.
Country music. They got great songs in country stories. Sorry, they got great stories in country music.
Folk music.
Same thing. Folk music. Yeah.
I would say roots Americana and Canadiana, right? Those jump out the most. What do you think? Are we missing anything?
Absolutely. Well, I'm primarily a country guy. I did take a course when I was 18 years old, fresh off the farm, literally.
So like 4 or 5 years ago.
I took a course at GPRC called Music Appreciation, which kind of just opened me up to everything. And now I try to get my son and we listen to classical music in the morning when we have breakfast. We try to, not always, but I love classical music. I studied musical theater, so of course I like Broadway stuff.
Yes.
Jazz. I played with Dr. Bob's jazz band. Shout out Dr. Bob.
Dr. Bob.
In his wind ensemble symphony and stuff, and I just love it. And so when GPLT puts on those big musicals, I'm just like, yes,
absolutely, it's important.
Oh, it's so good here.
Not just performance, but theater arts. Theater education, arts education for everybody, kids, adults. It's never too late.
So going back to the storytelling aspect of genres, why do you believe there's so many songs people write? Like I write this all the time when they're heartbroken.
It's a great question. I love me some melancholy stuff, whether it's storytelling stuff or sort of other stuff. I think perhaps the complexity of why we might be heartbroken lends itself to just much deeper exploration. I think being happy is an amazing emotion and experience, but I think being happy can be expressed pretty easily. Does that make sense? Maybe it's more apparent, right, that you're happy. But heartbreak, that's some meaty stuff.
For
lots
me,
lots to get into, I guess.
It is yeah. We don't want to get too sidetracked by this. I think 7 minutes is up pretty soon. For me, human beings switch off between a place of pleasure, a place of pain. And when me personally, when I'm in a place of pleasure, I want to go do fun things. I want to be with my friends. I want to hang out, go on the riverboat, go on a roller coaster. I want to go camping, fishing. I want to do fun things. When I'm heartbroken, and I have been heartbroken a few times, I don't want to do anything. I just want to kind of just like, it's kind of like your body goes into, for me anyway, this is my experience, guys. It's kind of like you go into shock and you don't know what to do with this weird pain feeling you have. One sec, Arch. We're going to get on to the second.
Please do.
The second goal.
Perfect.
So to the chagrin of our tech crew, we're going to have all three of us on the screen for a second.
Oh my gosh.
Hi, Arjun.
We told them we wouldn't do this, but
Wonderful.
We're going to do it.
gosh,
Sorry, David, Andrew. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly check it out. Do you got any questions?
No.
Oh, this is great. Guys, I hope you got some really good stuff back at home. Great. Okay, now, can you take all of this, put it on like a fresh sheet?
Yeah.
As legible as possible. And then we're going to do the next 7 minutes for the verse. Your verse doesn't have to be the same rhyming pattern. If it is, that's fine. A lot of great songs are like that. But if you have a different rhyme pattern, that's fine as well. So go do that. And then when you're done writing this out, then start the 7 minutes for the verse. So there's two different tasks you're going to do, okay?
Okay.
Great. Guys, I hope you're doing that at home as well. Okay, so Arjun, getting back to
yes, sir.
The pace, pleasure and pain, and the feeling that you have inside, you're kind of in shock. You just want to get rid of it. And for musicians, when we play our guitars, it brings us happiness. It brings us satisfaction, just even beyond just listening to the guitar, but feeling the vibration. That's why music means so much to human beings, because every cell in our body vibrates. And music is going to make our body vibrate. Now, you can't really perceive it other than, I feel good when I listen to this song. Some music vibrates our bodies in ways that we're not comfortable with. Like, I don't really like chromatic music. It's hard to listen to for me.
Fair enough.
So when our instrument's vibrating and we're playing songs, it's making me feel better. So then when I'm in this place of heartbreak, I want to try to feel better. So I'll grab my instrument and I gravitate towards it, and then I want to get it out. So if some of you heard the intro song that Andrew played, that was actually a song I wrote when I was actually devastated. I was very heartbroken. And I found that some of my best material and best art has come when I've been devastated, but I've been honest.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think you hit a very important nail on the head. Honesty. I think that's when the really good stuff starts to come out. And I think it's hard to get to that place of honesty because it involves a lot of times what's hard is being honest with yourself, right? It's easy to tell someone that you feel a certain way, but really being able to name what you're feeling, why you're feeling it, involves a lot of self-exploration. So that's tough. So good on you for doing that. Absolutely.
On the flip side, when I'm heartbroken, I want to listen to a song from another singer-songwriter. And for me, when I listen to like blues or a sad song, I'm like, okay, somebody else has gone through this. I'm gonna get through this. It's kind of like, team effort, or you got support. You got more support.
Of course, I think one of the things about sadness, one of the things about trauma and heartbreak really is that um, knowing that you're not alone in what you're going through is a huge deal, right? I mean, I remember times when I've gone through stuff, and as soon as I am able to open up to somebody, usually 8 other people, are going through the same kind of thing. And it's very helpful to be able to just know that, again, it's a shared experience, no matter what it is.
Cool. So that's kind of why it seems like there's a lot of story songs that are told from a heartbreak perspective. Now, to turn that on its edge, if I'm in love, or if I'm in the early stages of something, I'm really excited, I want to sing about it, I'll start writing songs as well, because we need upbeat songs as well.
Of course, it's all about balance, right? Life, art, ourselves.
Cool. Now, for the people that are watching, who want to get into songwriting, what advice would you give the person that says, I'm not really a very good instrumentalist, I'm not really a singer, I'm not really a musician, but I really want to get this out, I have songs I want to share with the world? What would you tell them?
The simplest thing to say is to just start somewhere. To start somewhere and start doing something. I mean, we all emote differently. Some folks can write poetry. Some folks can start getting into the process by writing. So if that's you, then start writing poetry, I guess. If you play just a little bit and you play your feelings without necessarily being able to figure out the lyrical content, start playing something. And actually, of course, we also have to say, I mean, if you do neither of those things, but you're adept at electronic stuff, I mean, how many folks, kids, people nowadays use like Ableton Live, like an APC or an MPC of some sort to program beats and stuff like that. It's easier than ever to sort of get into some way of emoting, maybe more than ever. So start someplace, start doing something, figure out what it is that you can do, and just start there. And then I would say, in tandem with that, at some point you have to open up to other people.
Yeah.
Find your tribe, find art folks, artsy folks to be able to work with. Not even work with, but just somebody who you can just show your stuff to. That's the hardest thing, right? I feel like when we first started working together, what we did a lot of demoing, right? It was just like, set up a mic, play me some songs, and then we can start to bridge the gap before we can work together artistically. Just opening up. Does that make sense? Is that accurate?
So yeah, I don't know if I said this earlier, but Arjun, he's a producer for my country band. We started a project before COVID hit, which totally derailed our project. Totally. Because you couldn't go out of your cohort, you couldn't get together. And when you're in a recording studio, people are close. I mean, putting microphones up for people singing, you're in each other's space. So we put all that on hold. But before we managed to record like a whole album and a half of demos.
Yeah. Yep.
So there was about 16 songs. And then during the lockdown for COVID, a whole bunch of other songs came to me. So we probably have enough now for 2 albums. So because I am old school, I got like about 3 binders like this full of old songs and stuff. And like they're on like napkins and stuff. Just any little pieces of paper. Every songwriter has one of these books, and you just like cram it in. And so I've literally started or written maybe 1,000 songs easy.
Good.
But you only pick, like, you're not going to record 1,000 songs because a lot of those songs are junk. By the way, that takes me to another point, guys. Don't be too hard on yourself. If you're a brand new songwriter, just like Arjun said, just start. And don't expect to write a hit right away. I mean, you might. That's pretty cool. A lot of people have. But if you don't get too hard on yourself. This is a craft. This is a skill that you can develop, just like carpentry, mechanics, baking, cooking. That's all those chefs and seamstresses, they've all practiced, just like us. We got to practice our songwriting, okay?
Yep.
So, yeah, we've recorded probably about 20 demos or so. And
And
then,
in various stages, if I may be so bold as to jump in,
yeah.
one thing also for beginning songwriters is figure out where your strengths are in terms of where you can sing if you're a singer. I mean, how many times did we make a set of demos and then listen to them and think maybe this could be pitched a little lower, a little higher, you know? So we do it all over again. Maybe slap on a capo, maybe move the capo up a fret, down a fret,
Oh, yeah.
until we found where Travis's voice was able to sort of convey the story and the emotion needed for that song. So
According to him, who hears my voice from not inside. See, we all hear our own voices inside our head. So it's a little bit different than how the world hears it. So get yourself a producer. And this, okay, a little bit beyond our scope tonight, but if you are going to write songs and then record them, get yourself a producer you can trust. So when he says, you know, capo up too, you're like, capo, okay. And then try to park your ego and say, okay, I'll try it. And then somebody that you can collaborate with. With this guy, he's a very good a good technical producer, but he also spent hours getting to know me. We had lots of sushi at Prairie Sushi. Shout out to Prairie Sushi.
Prairie Sushi.
Woo. We spent lots of time, and he would just listen to my songs. Now, like I said, I'm a country boy. A lot of my songs are, well, they're about drinking, and I don't really even drink. They're about honky tonk heartbreak and stuff. I have been heartbroken. But they're also about country life, and that's stuff that I've experienced. I've had friends who have drank a heartache away or tried. So if you're observant with your world and you bring that to your songwriting table, I think you won't go wrong.
Absolutely. I think there's a great literary quote that goes something like, you know, you write what you know, right?
Write what you know.
And so, you know, you might not have gone through those exact things, but maybe somebody adjacent to you, maybe it's in your family, maybe your friends, you know, and it's your observation, your way of understanding and coping what's happening that's equally as valid as something that has directly happened to you.
Yeah. Just going to segue for a quick second. If you guys have any questions, just put them in the chat. We can read them, and we'll see if we can brainstorm about them. If you want to chat, or if you have anything. If you've been writing tonight, let us know what you got, and then submit for the next songwriter night. And remember, I did say that these will help us to video our songs, record our songs. So technology is a wonderful thing nowadays. So if you bring up some questions, we can get them at the next break. Now, one thing working with Arjun on my songs when I would present them to him is he would say, you know, it took you 30 words to say what you could have said in 6. So I was like, well, I'm pretty clever because I got all these rhythms and stuff. No, you can say it in 6. Say it in 6. So I'd pare down the song, and after a while, I was like, actually, it's much better. So don't be scared to take in advice on your songs. So if you join workshops, online courses, jam nights, or with your friends, you work with your friends, that'll make you a stronger songwriter. The only thing I would caution people about from becoming a better songwriter is when their ego gets in the way. Okay, so we don't want to have our egos destroy all our potential. Okay, after a while, you'll find that your creative machine has developed so much, and I'm going to ask you for some tips on developing your creativity. Your creative machines develop so much, whether you've done books like the Julia Cameron book, The Artist's Way, whether you've taken courses, or whether you've just decided, I'm going to do a haiku a day, or whatever it is. Then your creative machine is so fully developed, it's like you're almost always ready to write a song at the drop of a hat. What are some of the ways our viewers can improve the creativity?
So the first thing that comes to mind, and this is my own experience, this is my own experience with COVID, perhaps this whole thing that's been happening for the last 18 months. One of the biggest things I find is that when things like this happen, people often stop making time for themselves. You know, we work, we have lives, we have families, we got kids, right? And usually the last thing that we think about is ourselves. And I find there's a direct correlation between, you know, feeling life feeling very hectic and realizing that actually I haven't made any time for myself. That could be something as simple as waking up just a little earlier, having an extra cup of coffee in the morning, or having some tea in the morning by yourself, right? Maybe after the kids go to bed, before you start scrolling. This is my scrolling impersonation, or tweeting on Twitter, at random people. Instead of doing that, maybe just take a minute to go outside, right? Pick up your instrument, get a notebook, get voice memo going, and just write. Write, speak, hum, something as simple as that. But as long as you prioritize that, can go a long way in just sparking creativity.
Right on, man. Hey, Arch, thanks for drying off and coming on down.
It's a pleasure. I had to get the robe off, and but now luckily I'm gonna go finish, shampooing my hair and stuff. So
I love it. Thanks for coming
Pleasure.
down, buddy.
you got it. Thank you.
I'll see you later.
You bet. Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna bring Alyssa back in. This is her verse goal. How'd you do?
Good.
Yeah.
I think.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I did.
That's what's really important.
There was like a certain point when I was getting close to the end of the time where I was struggling with like a rhyming, like an end to a rhyme. And so I may revisit that in the future just to see if I can get it a little bit better. But I kind of like what that sort of pressure, the time pressure of just like, well, I'll put something. I can always change it later if I don't love it.
Green eggs and ham.
Yeah.
The Beatles, when Paul McCartney couldn't think of it, he wrote green eggs and ham, and they came back and changed it later. You can Google that. So.
Yeah. So I do better under pressure, I think, than I do with a lot of freedom. So yeah.
So I want to touch on something. Some songwriters that do this for a living, I guess, in Nashville, even especially, of course, our own Grand Prairie girls kicking butt down there in Tenille. The songwriters get in houses and they write songs. That's all they do, 40 hours a week. They write songs. They're scheduled. Me personally, I could never do that. So when inspiration hits me, I'll grab my voice memo. That's probably my number one tool right now, is my voice memo app on my phone. And that's why I have 500-600 little clips on here. And like I said, some of them are only 15 seconds long. Some of them are just a hook that I'll revisit later. If you do that, guys, back it up. I've had 2 phones worth of info. One was before the cloud and all that stuff, just die on me that I could not retrieve the data. So who knows what songs had died.
Would have been. Yeah.
So, all right. So you have a chorus.
Yep.
You have a verse.
Yep.
Can you slowly read them to us as unmusical as possible? Unless the tune comes in, go with it.
Which one first?
Let's start with the chorus.
Okay. I've always been here, but can you see me? I've been swimming in an ocean of invisibility. I can finally get down, take me off the shelf, be as big as I am, and take space in myself. Here's my first step into the glow. 1 step down, 11 to go.
Emergence. That's perfect. Okay, that's your chorus, or is that?
Chorus.
Okay, now your verse. Do you write poetry?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Very poetic, yeah.
Okay. The cold was so cold, and the room was so empty. 6 feet is just too far away. Solitude got old, and I felt so empty. A string of long nights and even longer days. I needed to hide from that feeling of empty. I wasn't sure how to fill it up. A part of me died from that feeling of empty as that bottle, as empty as this cup.
Whoa. Okay, I think we're ready for the chords now.
Okay.
Yeah, interesting. I like that. Very descriptive. It's very imagery. It instigates imagery. That's nice. Okay, so the instrument you decided to write with is the ukulele.
Yes.
Great. What a great little
This
instrument.
is Oscar.
Oscar?
Yes.
Nice. This is Betsy too.
Uh-huh.
Most musicians name their instruments. I don't know why we do that, but we do. Okay, so what you're going to do now, guys, Alyssa, you're going to take your lyrics. This is a hard part. This can be a hard part.
Uh-huh.
You're going to strum chords as you sing. Do you have a tune in your mind?
Not really.
Not
no.
really? Okay, let's go back to the chorus.
Okay.
So we want to get chords for the verse or the chorus, so we'll pick the chorus.
Okay.
Next 7 minutes, you're going to go in there and you're going to strum chords and you're going to sing 1 or 2 lines over and over and over. So this is what I would do. I've always been here, but can you see me? I've been swimming in an ocean of invisibility. Those are the 2 lines. I just want you to sing them over and over, different ways, and see if anything comes.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. In my little alcove.
Yep.
Okay. You guys might be able to hear me a little bit from there. We'll see.
7 minutes.
Okay.
This is where the rubber meets the road. Okay, so I just want to let you know, Story Slam is on July 1st. The theme is Canada. And they're hoping to get some Indigenous voices because that's important. Canada is made up of a lot of different things. And interesting. Texts, inappropriate texts at inappropriate times. July 8th, that'll be the Thursday after that. The Last Maniac Standing. Now that one's a lot of fun. July 15th is the Poetry Cafe. And that's Arjun was part of the one that I saw. It was great. There's some really talented people. Okay. I also want to mention that the Rising Stars Drama Camp, the registration is open. So if you have little thespians, that's a perfect camp for them. It's a week-long theater camp, and that's for the kids. Okay. Couple of quick things they asked if I wanted to talk about. I can officially say we are playing at the TP Creek Stampede this year on July 9th. That's Friday, July 9th, and Saturday, July 10th at the Beer Gardens. And because of the announcement of the from the government, Alberta government, TP Creek can have 100% capacity. So we are going to have a concert. Now, I do know the headliners that we are going to support, but we are going to make an announcement on the radio on Monday. So I'm not going to let you know here, but I will say 100%, 100,000% TP Creek is a go. And my band, once again, will be part of it. We are lucky for that. We love playing at TP Creek. It's probably, that stage is probably our home for my band. My stage home for acting is definitely GPLT. So those are the other things. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention, Alyssa asked about my shirt. I don't know if anybody watching follows me on Facebook, but my sister and I came up with these shirts. It's pretty evident what it's about. And ours is a fundraiser. And the fundraiser is to support projects that bring awareness and education towards the effects of the residential school program on First Nations people in Canada, which I am one. I'm from the reserve Soto First Nations, which is just over west of us in British Columbia, just outside of Chetwynd. There's a Moberly Lake. A lot of Grand people go to Moberly Lake. Our reserve is right there. We're also beside West Moberly First Nations. And so the two reserves are pretty much like family. So I got lots of family on both reserves. That's where we're from. So we thought that what can we do to help? A lot of people are fundraising, giving money directly to survivors and victims, which is great. We thought, well, where's there a void? What can help heal? And we firmly believe in the education part of it. I was amazed at how many people didn't really know what was going on at residential schools or didn't know anything about them. So I think that if we fill that void, we could help. That's our little way to help. And our website is 215angels.com. I'm not really a fashion guy. I'm not a fashion designer, but creativity, I love being creative. And I didn't really feel I had a song that would be worthy of what I want. So we put our creativity in another way. Okay, that brings me to another point. Don't be hard on yourself. If you're a new songwriter, don't be hard on yourself. Just go with what you got and start learning. Alyssa's attitude. She's just going for it, which I love. That's great. Just go for it. Try not to edit yourself. Try not to criticize yourself. And yeah, have fun. Have fun. Everybody needs to hear a voice in the world to help them. It might be your voice. You might help somebody with your song. So I believe it's valuable. Maybe that's a little naive of me, but that's firmly what I believe. Okay? So we got that, and we got that. I also want to take a second to thank the technicians, David, Andrew, and of course, got to thank my buddy Arjun for coming in. I definitely want to thank Alyssa for asking me to come. I got to thank GPLT volunteers. That's one of the things I love about our theater is the volunteers. People volunteer for all kinds of ways, and you meet a lot of great friends. A lot of my Grand Prairie friends I've met through GPLT. In fact, my son's mother, heavily involved in GPLT. I'm heavily involved in GPLT. So you meet a lot of great people through GPLT. And the management, I want to thank the management from GPLT. Hopefully don't fire me. And I want to thank the viewers and patrons of GPLT, people that come out to our shows. We do have a great season lined up. Some of our shows are carried over. And now GPLT also, in case you didn't know, they put shows on at the K Theater. So we have some shows at GPLT and we have some shows at the K Theater, but we have a lot of shows in a season now. So it's great. I think the average Grand Prairie citizen definitely has a great time for GPLT. So I want to thank everybody and the people watching. Hopefully you've been able to work on some stuff tonight and you can submit it or meet up with some other songwriters because we'll have songwriter nights that we can include your stuff. There's not a lot of judgment. People are very, very encouraging. And I think it'll help you a lot if you want to get into songwriting. Okay. How many minutes are we at? It's up to you if you're ready. So I was telling Alyssa earlier, I have written a lot of songs and I'm finally recording my first album with Arjun. She said, well, why haven't you recorded stuff earlier? Why haven't you been on the radio? All that kind of stuff. So we all work on things. We all deal with things. For me, it was perfectionism. I wanted my songs to be perfect, even though I didn't really understand that every song has its own life. And the more perfect you want your song, that could actually be the death of a song. So I've recorded a lot of stuff, but I just never released it because I wanted it to be perfect. And that's an injustice, I think, to the song and to the people that helped me work on the song. The second thing is, another thing I'm working on is I didn't believe in myself enough. Like I said, I started when I was older. So a lot of things did not come very easy for me. I had to work really hard. But through meeting a lot of good people, including people at GPLT, now I see that that's foolish thinking, that's ego thinking, and it was self-defeatist. So now we're rocking and rolling. So when Arjun and I get done recording this album, we'll let you know. Okay, what you got, girl?
Okay. So the end of the chorus, like I have a rhyming couplet at the very end that I don't really know yet what those chords are, but the rest of it is a C, F, G, A minor, C, F, G7, F. I think.
Cool.
Okay. Sorry.
No, it's all right. That's cool.
I've always been here, but can you see me? Been swimming in an ocean of invisibility. I can finally get down, take me off the shelf, be as big as I am, and take space in myself. And then there's the rhyming couplet that I'm not sure about yet.
Andrew's the greatest.
Yeah, Andrew is the greatest.
Andrew and David. Hey, I'm pretty happy with this, actually.
Yeah, I think it could really be something.
Yeah, this is good. Okay, so the last two. Okay, guys, I'll just fill you in on what I can read. Mine?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what she's got. She's got always been here, but is it G?
G, yeah.
See me, I've been swimming in an ocean of invisibility. Oh, there's an F. Okay, I've always been here, but can you see me? I've been swimming in an ocean of invisibility. I can finally get down, take me off the shelf, be as big as I am, and take space in myself. Shelf and self. I love it. Woo! Here's my first step into the glow. 1 step down, 11 to go. That is your hook.
Yeah.
And because the tune didn't come to you for the hook, that's where you're going to have to do some hard homework.
Okay.
Now, you have roughly, what would you say, a month?
I think it's either going to be next month or the month after on the last Thursday of the month. So I either have 1 or 2 months.
So we just got to get the schedule nailed down with GPLT?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. And guys, hopefully you've written some songs. If not, I'm hoping that what we shared tonight sparks some stuff for you to start writing.
And if you watch this and were like, oh yeah, I would love to do that, then just watch it again and then just do what I did, because it can be done, everybody. I am really excited to expand on, get a couple more verses in, figure out the tune for that hook, and just kind of have a actual full song.
Right. And guys, if you have any questions on songwriting, and if I can help brainstorm some ideas for you, don't hesitate to contact us through GPLT. Or if you see me on the street, I'm going to be hosting Canada Day down in the park and up at the Revolution Place. And if you see me, absolutely come up, say hi, and check it out. I will just chit chat with whoever, because I think it's important for us to share. I really love the Grand Prairie art scene. That's one thing I love about this city. And the artists, they seem to really care about each other and help each other grow. And that's how we grow, by helping each other.
Yeah.
So
so upcoming, we do have the Story Slam on July the 1st. We have the Last Maniac Standing on July 8th. We have the Poetry Cafe on July 15th. And we're pretty open to new ideas. So I know for the next Story Slam, if you are busy because it's July the 1st and it's a holiday, just pre-record your story and send it in. We would love to have your voice heard. We would love to hear, and Poetry Cafe, we typically get 2 hours to work on the poems once you have the theme. If you need more time than that, just tell us and we'll tell you the theme early. No problem. Because you can email us right now and by tomorrow you could know the theme.
excellent. I think that's it. What else you got?
I think that's all. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you, as always, thank you, Travis, very much for coming and teaching me my private tutorial. It really did. I'm actually, what I was most surprised about is that I got a tune, because I write poetry. I do know how to do that. And then I was just like, oh, but I'm not going to be able to turn it into an actual tune. But then I did. That was great.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So what are some of your influence, quickly before we go, some of your influence for music? What do you like to listen to?
Right now I'm really into the Avett Brothers. I really like Steve Earle.
Really?
Oh, I love Steve Earle.
Personal
Riding
favorite.
my bicycle and listening to Steve Earle is like my favorite thing to do.
I'm hoping he can come for Bear Creek Folk Festival.
Oh my God.
Which I've been lucky enough to be part of that as a stage manager. And of course, our own David Banks, he's production manager.
Yeah,
production manager, which is like he and Sarah and Gordy, like they put on such a great show.
Yeah.
And they've got a lot of community support, GPLT, a lot of people watching. So
yeah,
I love BCEFF.
Yeah. There's lots and lots of music I really enjoy, and I tend to will get obsessed with like one thing that I listen to a lot, and then I'll be introduced to something new, then I listen to that a lot. So.
I'm really into rap right now. Nice. Tom McDonald. I like how the rappers their rhyme schemes are getting so advanced. Like they'll do one line will have like 3 rhymes in it, and then they go to the next line. It's amazing. I love it. I also like the modern rhyming schemes of country music, but I also like the old school storytelling. So right now I'm if I'm not listening to rap, I'm listening to 50s, 60s country, because the storytelling aspect is phenomenal. Yes. I think that's the golden era of country music storytelling. Yeah. So yeah, the 50s, 60s, and a little early 70s. That's what I'm into right now. Yes. It's great. So just one more time, I'll let people know. On Sunday, I'll be down in the park as part of a crew putting on Indigenous people celebrations down in Muskosipi. And then the weekend after that, I'll be there again for Canada Day, celebrating all the people in Canada. And of course, I'm the host on that, and I'll have my First Nations twist on that.
Oh,
Very proud Canadian, very proud Native man. And then the weekend after that, of course, we take David Banks and go to, and Arjun, we're going to take him too. He doesn't know yet, but we're going to take them out to Teepee Creek for that weekend. Weekend after that, we're actually going to BC for a private gig, a celebration over there. Weekend after that, we're going to give a free concert down in Muskogee Park on Sunday, 25th.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So a free concert Sunday, July 25.
Awesome.
I told them about the t-shirts my sister and I designed
Oh,
and
perfect.
the fundraiser.
Yeah.
And I guess that's me. I should probably start a website to let people know, because I do have people message me all the time.
Yeah.
And this open invitation for anyone that want to message me, talk about music, talk about movies, talk about projects in Grand Prairie, anything. I love helping artists.
Awesome.
I think that's it.
Yeah. Well, thank you for helping me today.
Thank you so much.
And thanks again for tuning in. See us next week, same time on Facebook or YouTube. Thank you very much.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Send your submissions.